All right, we're back. I got the sausage out of the pan here. I'm going to take my salmon and I'm going to skin this real quick. All right. I did keep the oil that the sausage was fried in because we're going to want these flavors to blend and meld and make a bunch of happiness. So I'm just going to skin this salmon real quick. Just like this. Just run the knife down there like that. All right. Nice and clean there. Beautiful. Take off any extra little gray color because I really just don't like it. So we'll take this off. All right. We'll go this way. So the salmon does have a little bit of a bloodline. Runs right down the middle. We'll take that out. Little bitty cuts just like that. And that'll come right out nice and nice. Just a little more cleanup here. Okay. All right, that's good. Yeah, almost. There we go. All right. I'm actually going to dice this a little bit because I want it to go in nice with the risotto. Okay. So I'm going to cut this into little pieces. Just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to dice it. Doesn't matter. Big chunks, little chunks, whatever you like, right? You're going to notice a lot of that with these videos. A lot of whatever you like. No real hard rules. Well, some. Not many, though. All right. I'm going to drop my heat down just a little bit here. This oil still looks nice. And then what are we going to do first? Maybe I'll do the shrimp first, okay? I'm only going to do the shrimp that I have cut in half. You'll see why later, right? So these go in. Beautiful. I'm going to throw some scallops in. Maybe a little bit less than, a little more than half of them. Right? And we're just going to get a quick sear on these, right? We don't have to cook them all the way through quite yet. I'm going to hit it with just a little bit of salt and pepper. Not much, not much. You can season them before. I often do. I didn't this time. Get a little rubber spatula here. And just move them a little bit. Right? Not too much. You can probably go a little bit hotter. We want to get a nice good sear on these. Okay? And we'll just wait just a minute. No rush. These sausages I'm going to take off to the side. I'm actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have a snack while I'm cooking. So I'm going to put one of these in here for me. And the rest I'm going to move over to the fridge and cool. All right. That's it. We're waiting on this seafood here. Basically what we're doing is I'm getting a nice, like I said, a partial cook on this seafood. But what I'm doing in addition is I'm adding flavor into this pot. I'm getting all the flavor of the sausages in there, the shrimp, the scallops, the fish will be in there in a minute. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to do the risotto in the same pan. And I want all that flavor to cook right into the actual rice as opposed to just having the seafood sitting on top at the end. So I'm actually going to crank this a little more here. Give it a little shimmy shimmy. And that's it. So we're going to wait on this for just a minute. I'll be right back. All right, we're about 80% of the way done with this shrimp and scallop mix. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. No. Yes, the dogs are in the background. You'll probably hear that quite often as well. So we're going to pull these out, and then I'm going to show you something else here real quick. I have a little bit more liquid in this pan than I really need. So what I'm going to do, again, tons of great flavor in there, right? I'm going to take some of it out. I'm going to pour it into my hot stock that I have going on here. All right? and then leave just a little bit in the pan. Again, all that flavor is going to cook right into the rice. I'm going to add just another touch of olive oil, maybe another tablespoon. That pan's still nice and hot. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and throw this salmon in there now and get a good sear on that. Yeah, sizzle. And we're just going to let it sit for just a second. Okay. Another little salt and pepper. Little bit. Not too much. We're getting salt. We're getting salt content, guys, from a lot of sources here. Obviously, there's some natural salt that's in the seafood. There's some more that's going to come out of this stock. And so we don't need to go too heavy with the salt for seasoning, right? A little bit of pepper. You don't need to see the brand name on that pepper because they're not sponsoring me yet. All right, we'll turn this salmon. Again, we're going to cook maybe 80% of the way through. Right, we're going to turn it, try to get a nice little sear on all sides. Nicey. All right, so we're going to let this cook down just a little bit, and we'll be back. Hang on. All right, I cleaned off my cutting board here. My salmon is mostly done. All right, there's a big difference between mostly done and all done. That was a great joke for those of you that got it. Mostly done, all done. It's Princess Bride, whatever. Anyway, so we're done here, right? Or as done as we're going to get for now. I'm going to scoop this out in with the seafood that I have over here on the side. Okay? I'm going to come back over here. Beautiful. Look, you see this? I don't know if you can see. Come look. Okay? We got these beautiful little crusties down in there, right? That is flavor. That's so much flavor. Right? We're going to get those out later. I'll show you how. I'm going to drop this temperature down just a little bit. I'm going to add just another little smidgen of olive oil. That's more product placement. Come on, sponsors. Get on it. This could be your olive oil. All right. So listen, I got my oil. This is hot, right? So we're going to come over here. We're going to get our shallots. We're going to go in with the shallots. Right? We're going to cook these fast and hot. Just for a couple seconds. Drop the temp just a little bit more. Risotto takes time, friends. Okay? Don't rush risotto. There's nothing better than a good risotto. There's nothing worse than a bad risotto. So here, we're going to make a good one tonight. I've got my shallots. They brown up really quick, okay? They're not going to take long. I minced them up real fine. This is probably just a little over one medium-sized shallot, okay? This is just over a cup of arborio rice. This is what I like to use to make my risotto. You can really use any short grain, high starchy kind of rice, but this is my favorite. In it goes. In most of it goes. Some on the stove. Okay. So we're going to stir this up. I want to get it nice and coated, right? I want to get a nice little coating on there. If it's a little bit too dry, meaning you don't have enough oil to coat, we got trade secrets that we can use to help you with that. Watch this. We're going to take just a little bit of a kind of a hole there in the center, right? A little bit of a hole there in the center. And we're going to take like half of a tablespoon of butter. Half of a tablespoon of butter. Drop that right in the hole there in the center. Let that sizzle for a minute. All right, we'll stir that up just a little bit here. Get it melted all the way down. That gets hot real quick. And now we'll just work it in, right? Gives a little bit more moisture, helps coat the rice, and also adds a beautiful flavor. Butter makes everything better. I know people say it's not the healthiest in the world, but listen, if you're making risotto, you're going to use butter. All right, so we're going to let that toast for just another minute. Turn this up just a bit. We're gonna grab a little taste over here. It's good. It's good. We're toasting the rice. We want to get a nice little golden color to it. Okay? Give that just another minute. And we wait. Be right back. I'm back. Look at this. How beautiful. Got beautiful little char on some of the shallots, right? Not burnt. They're a little crispified. That's right where you want to be. Beautiful color on the risotto, on the rice. We're going to drop the heat, right? We're going to go right around 5 out of 10, right? About halfway. Medium heat. Okay? We're going to let this cool just a little bit because I don't want to get too high. And then we're going to start incorporating our stock, right? We're going to do just a little bit at a time, about half a cup at a time, right? The first half cup that you put in is going to be loud. It's going to be a little steamy. We're going to get this little ladle here. All right. So we're going to put just about half a cup in and then watch what happens. Loud and steamy. That's okay, right? Stir it. The first little bit that we go with is going to absorb quick, right? It's going to go quick. But that's all right. That's what we want. We're going to add just a little bit more. And it's going to take longer as we go, right? Another little half cup. And this is going to take a little bit longer. Now, we want to let each half cup absorb before we go ahead and add the next one, right? Like I said, risotto takes time. Don't rush risotto. You rush a risotto, you get a rotten risotto. That's another Princess Bride thing. Listen, start appreciating these jokes, okay? So we're going to slow this down a little bit. The temperature's coming down, taking a little bit longer here, and we're just going to let it go, right? What's going to happen, if we go nice and slow, we're using a hot stock, not a cold stock, never a cold stock. We use a hot stock, and we go slow. It's going to release all the starch from the rice. We're going to get a beautiful, creamy, rich, decadent, insert any other adjectives here, risotto, and it's going to be wonderful, right? Now, get this here, all right? Now, we notice we have, it's tightening up real nice, right? A little thicker, right? We're getting right where we want to be. We still have some crusties here on the bottom of the pan. And now that we're completely tightened up, we're going to deglaze just a little bit, okay? We're going to deglaze. We'll take some of the white wine. A lot of people sometimes do the white wine first. That's a great way to do it. I like to get just a little bit of stock in first, and then I'm going to hit it with some wine. Maybe a third of a cup, maybe half a cup. And we're just going to let that cook down. Let that absorb. Beautiful flavor. This is not doing us any good. I'll get rid of it. Here we go. Listen, I don't want it to go to waste, you know? Anyway, this is cooking down nice. Let it go just another couple seconds, minutes. And we're moving forward, okay? So we're just going to repeat this process, right? We're going to add a little bit more stock. We're going to cook it down nice and slow. We're going to cook it down, add some more stock, cook it down until we get to a beautiful al dente kind of consistency. And then we'll go to the next step. So I'm just going to keep doing this here for a little while, and then I'll check back in with you. Hang on a second. Hey, I'm back. So I just want to check in. Look, we're not quite there yet, right? We're about 3/4 of the way there. You can look and see the risotto has more than doubled in volume already. We're adding our hot stock, about half a cup at a time, like I said, right? And we're letting it do its thing. We're not rushing it. It's been about 30 minutes so far. And we're not there yet, right? We're not there yet. So we're going to give it time. We're going to wait till we get to a beautiful al dente on this risotto. Fun fact, al dente, anybody know what it means? Say it out loud. We're listening. It means to the tooth. Al dente, to the tooth, right? It's the way pasta should be cooked. It's the way risotto should be done. It's an absolute beautiful thing when it works out just right. But we're not there yet, so we're going to wait. And we'll be back. So just, hang out. Go get a cocktail or an appetizer. We'll be back. All right, so we're back, right? We've got probably about 5 cups, maybe a little more than 5 cups of hot stock that we've added to our original cup, maybe a little over a cup of the arborio rice. So you can see we've got a lot more than we started with, right? It's got a tremendous growth rate, which we're super happy about because, the more risotto, the better. So we're real close, right? We're very close to being where we want to be. So what we're going to do, a lot of things going to happen here towards the end. We're going to move this over, back over here, okay? We're going to grab another pan. We're going to start heating this pan for our garnish. So we're going to mix a bunch of the seafood. We're going to mix some of the shrimp, the scallops, the salmon. We're going to mix all that into the risotto. But I want to finish with some extra shrimp and scallops. So we'll get that going here in just a minute. We'll get this heating up. All right. I went ahead. I pulled our sausage out of the fridge. It's nice and cool now. And we're going to slice this. It's all about presentation, right? So people eat with their eyes. That's why we say it's all about presentation. So we're going to slice this on a bias, right? We're not going to cut straight along the edges. We're going to cut it on an angle, right? Makes each slice look a little bit longer. We're going to go pretty thin, maybe about 1/8 of an inch, a little thicker than 1/8 of an inch. Again, not a lot of rules. Hey, look, Thomas is home. Hi. She's been home. Jessica's home. They had soccer practice. They're coming home in the middle of the video. It happens that way sometimes.
Shut out.
So we're going to slice the sausage up real nice, right? While the risotto finishes and our other pan heats. So we're going to leave this here just like this, nicey. All right. So leave this. Pan's getting hot. Risotto's finishing. It's a beautiful thing we got going on here. All right. Going to get a little bit of oil down here. Maybe a couple tablespoons. We're going to get nice and hot. Okay. We're going to move this off to the side here. And we're going to finish with a little bit of basil. So I'll start getting that ready. Now what we're going to do, we're going to make a basil chiffonade. All right? Chiffonade. It's a beautiful presentation for basil for garnish. So what we're going to do, we're going to stack some basil leaves. Fresh basil. I don't know, 5 or 6 or so. 7. And what we're going to do is roll them up a little bit, like that. And we're going to slice them thin. Nice and thin. Real thin. Look at that. Okay? Once we get that done, this will be our garnish. We're going to do this at the very end, right? And I'm going to move this off to the side. Our oil is nice and hot. I've got our extra scallops and shrimp here. I went ahead and salted and peppered them in advance this time. We're going to cook these over a medium-high heat, maybe 7 out of 10. All right. Get our shrimp in. Again, we're not going to cook these all the way through. We're only going to go about 80%. We're going to learn a little bit about carryover cooking in a lot of these videos, right? Things will continue to cook a little bit after you take them out of the pan. We got our risotto finishing over here. Now, what I'm going to do, we're going to finish the risotto while the rest of the seafood cooks. I'm going to take about a 1/4 to a 1/3 of a tablespoon of butter. I'm going to do that twice. And I'm going to put it right in the risotto there, okay? We're going to stir that in. A lot of places, a lot of restaurants, a lot of times you'll see this happening at the end with a risotto. You finish it with butter. A lot of your sauces, your pan sauces, things like marsala and franchise, a lot of times you'll see them finished with butter. It's called silking the sauce. So we're just going to get that butter in there real quick. These shrimp are about ready to flip. We'll give them another couple seconds. No problem. So I got that in there. We're going to season with a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, stir that in nicey. All right, that's looking good. All right, now, one brand name that I am going to tell you about, because every kitchen should have one, is Microplane, okay? Microplane. It's a zester, it's a grater, it's super sharp, be careful. So what I recommend is, I use this for everything, okay? I'm going to take a little bit of Pecorino Romano, right? I got a beautiful block of Pecorino Romano cheese that we're going to go ahead and finish our risotto with. We're going to move this off to the side, and we're just going to grate in some Pecorino Romano. Just like this. I'm going to do about half a cup. Romano cheese, well, first of all, take a look. See how nice? Almost like snow, right? We'll stir that right in. Romano's going to add a silky, creamy flavor. It's going to, a silky and creamy texture. It's going to add a beautiful, earthy, nutty flavor to the risotto. It's just a great way to finish it off and make it a beautiful thing, right? We're going to turn that heat way down. We're going to flip our shrimp. I do not recommend using metal tongs in a non-stick skillet. I'm a bit of an expert. I mean, I won't touch my skillet too much. All right, so maybe I touch it a little bit. But anyway, don't use metal in a non-stick skillet. Okay, these are about done. I'm going to add my scallops, get a nice little sear on those. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and pull these shrimp in about 16 seconds. All right. Our risotto is just about tightened up to where we want it to be. A beautifully creamy, silky texture. Look at this. Look, just look. Look. See that? How beautiful? That's amazing. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to add just a little bit of our basil chiffonade that we made. Sprinkle that in there and stir it in. I've got this heat on low, absolutely low. Let me get these shrimp out of here. All right, I'm going to turn my scallops. Get this up nice and high. I want to get a nice little sear on them. All right, so these are gonna finish up real quick. And I'm gonna get ready to plate. We're almost there. Got a beautiful little dish here, plating dish, casserole kind of thing. You don't want to overcook scallops, all right? They get dry, they get stringy, they get kind of gross. We don't want to do that. So we're going to cook these up, finish them up nice and nice. All right, and that's about it. We're going to let them go. We're going to pull them out. We're done. Last thing we're going to do in this pan is going to be our sausage. We're going to sear it off. Same pan, right? Same pan. I'm going to use a rubber spatula so all my culinarian friends can stop cringing with the nonstick skillet or nonstick pan. I'm sorry. I apologize. All right. So we'll let this crisp up just a little bit. Beautiful. Give our risotto one last stir. Beautiful. Look at that. Now, what we're going to do is take our shrimp and scallops. We're going to get that stirred in nice. All right. We're going to get our salmon cubes. Okay. Salmon, I want to take the salmon cubes and just kind of break them up a little bit, right? We don't need to have big giant chunks. I want to have a little bit of salmon in every bite. So we're going to kind of break them up a little bit and drop them in. Just like that. Amazing. All right, so we're going to work all that in. Gently kind of fold it in. All those beautiful flavors coming together. And I'm going to cut the heat off completely. Kind of turn over our sausage here. Crisping up these edges. It's just going to add a depth of flavor. A little bit of that pork fat in there is going to be a beautiful little contrast with the seafood. Crispy edges on these sausage slices are going to add a nice little crunch. And that's about it. All right. So, I'm going to get this risotto here. The sausage is good to go. We're going to add that in. Get maybe just a little bit of those pan drippings as well, right? Beautiful flavor. Okay. Move that off. Kill the heat. Stir it all in. We're going to stir it all in. Try to keep it kind of clean here. All right. We're going to get it all in our little bowl. Okay. Just like that. We have residual heat over here, right? So just to make sure we're nice and warm and where we want to be, we're going to put our finishing seafood back in there. While that's heating up, we're going to take a little paper towel, pretty up our bowl. Everything's about presentation. Listen, I don't care if you're cooking for the Pope or if you're cooking for yourself on a Tuesday night. It doesn't matter. Make it pretty. You deserve it. People eat with their eyes, right? People eat with their eyes in a restaurant. It should be no different in the house. Make it pretty. You deserve it. So we give this one quick last stir. Okay? Nice. Make sure everything's nice and warm. We're going to get our tongs, and we're going to pretty it up a little bit, right? So we'll just take our shrimp, kind of put them in here nice. Go right down the middle with those. Look, everything should be pretty. Love that. Okay, we'll take our scallops, put them on either side here like this. Love it. We're going to take the rest of our basil chiffonade. I'm going to put that right on top. All right, and then we're going to finish with just a little bit more Romano cheese. Look how pretty, right? Gorgeous. So that's it. Seafood risotto. Let me see if I can't get this thing out of here. Hold on. Seafood risotto. Eat like a champion. Eat like a king and queen. You deserve it. So that's it, my friends. It's a beautiful dish. It's delicious. It's a little time consuming, but it's easy. You can do this. I'm going to teach you guys as much as I possibly can. And I hope you eat, eat what makes you happy. All the best. Salud.